Hey everyone, Blaze here, welcome to a Sentai Filmworks haul video. This is part 1 of 3 basically. Last year? I can't believe it's already last year, this is crazy. This is a holiday sale haul and we're like, what, 2 months out from like the start of at least the Black Friday sales, and then 3 months out from the actual holiday sale again. So 9 months basically overdue for a lot of this stuff, although some of this stuff is actually stuff I picked up in the Black Friday sale last year as well. But yeah, just a ton of Sentai Filmworks stuff. I have 2 piles of Blu-rays, so I split them in half, kinda, and we'll do one video each for those. And I've got a mini DVD haul. It's not a lot, literally like 5 or 6 things that will go into its own video as well. So, let's just go, shall we? I have one pile here. We're going to start with Blu-rays, so we're just going to go through the order that they're in. So first up, I've got The Flying Witch, the complete collection on Blu-ray. This is like a Iashiki, isn't it? Is that how you say it? Or Isekai is Person in a Strange World. Iashiki, I believe, is yeah, the countryside, like relaxing type shows that are just meant to make you feel calm and stuff. And that's basically what this show is. It's about a girl, a little city witch in the great big countryside. So this girl here with the black hair, the taller one, she basically ends up moving to the countryside because I can't remember if it's like a house that needs a witch, or like people employ witches, kind of almost like Kiki's Delivery Service in a way. Something like that, I believe. I can't quite remember. I ended up watching this about 2 years ago. I hope I haven't shown this already. There's a small part of me who thinks I have, but if I haven't, then that's okay. If I have, at least I've seen it now. I really enjoyed this show. It's really super relaxing, fun. Just that light sprinkling of fantasy with a more slice of life, relaxing series. Just really nicely animated. I highly recommend this one. This one got a premium edition from Sentai. It was quite nice, but as you know, I don't really tend to get those anymore. I just try to get the shows on the shelf because that's honestly what I care about the most. So yeah, The Flying Witch, I recommend that one a lot. A lot of these I haven't seen yet. It'll sometimes take me 2, 3, 4 years to get around to some of the things I buy sometimes. So, but saying that, I have seen The Flying Witch obviously, and I've also seen the next one almost. I actually just watched this one recently, about a month ago. I haven't watched the OVAs yet because I kind of got fatigued on it, but here we have Squid Girl, the complete collection. Man, was this a long time coming. I was into anime and anime collecting when this first got licensed by Media Blasters. They put it out, season 1 on DVD in 2 parts, and then the Blu-ray with the dub, and then season 2 just never happened. Media Blasters just kind of fizzled out around like the early part of, I guess, the last decade, around 2010, 2011, 2012. Media Blasters just kind of almost ceased to exist. Obviously, they're making a kind of interesting comeback, which I don't know if I'll cover in a video at some point, maybe. We'll wait and see quite where it goes first, I think. But anyway, Squid Girl. I enjoyed this show, comedic show about this literally humanoid looking squid here, literally just called Squid Girl, who basically just walks out of the ocean, annoyed at the humans for all the pollution that's going on in the ocean, rightly so. Comes out of the ocean and basically just happens to find these 2 girls here, their little beach shack business, like cafe, and she basically decides that this is going to be her base of operations for her invasion of humankind, and she's a little bit outgunned and outmatched. Basically, it's just her. So yeah, believe it or not, the humans have pretty much got the one up on her, and even these 2 here kind of have the one up on her. And yeah, she ends up breaking something in the beach shack, and then she kind of just ends up having to pay off her debt for doing so, like breaking part of the beach shack by working at the beach shack. And after that, it's just a slice of life comedy. There's not a lot of invading going on, which is fine. That's not really what the show was ever going to be about anyway. It's pretty good, but I think, what was it? Is it 24 episodes for both seasons? Yeah, 12 episodes a season, so 24 in total. I got fatigued on it a little bit in the end. it's fun, but and stuff, but I kind of expected to like it a little bit more than I did in the end. Like, I enjoyed it, but it got a little bit samey. Basically, every episode is, I don't know if it's based on the manga. I imagine it probably is. There's the OVA disc, the other two are just seasons. It's got nice disc art, but it's all very obviously just Squid Girl. So yeah, I imagine it's probably based on the manga, but like every episode is just split up into like 3 mini stories, and the formula through all the episodes is kind of samey. And yeah, for me personally, I got a little bit fatigued on it, but I kind of liked it enough that once I got to the end of the second season, and I had 3 OVA episodes left. I was like, well, I'm gonna leave it for now because I'm not exactly super hot on this show right now. Like I said, I was a bit fatigued, so I was like, it's only 3 episodes, but I'm gonna leave it. And then, sometime in the future, be it a year from now or even a few years from now, if I suddenly fancy some Squid Girl to watch, I'll have 3 new episodes to watch. I decided to just hold off on the OVA rather than cramming the whole thing in. But yeah, Squid Girl, it's an okay series, but maybe not as good as I hoped. Interesting thing, obviously, Media Blasters did their release back in the day for season 1. They did a dub, and then Sentai Filmworks came along and did their own dub. And kind of frustratingly, other than the part of Squid Girl, Sentai Filmworks recast everybody else, which is these 2 girls, their little brother, and basically all the side characters as well. I'm pretty sure all got recast. Just Squid Girl, I can't remember who plays her, but just Squid Girl was carried over from the Media Blasters dub. Personally, I actually preferred the Media Blasters dub. That's not to say there's anything necessarily wrong with the Sentai one. There isn't, other than the typical Greg Ayres should play the little boy, because Greg Ayres always has to play the little boy. It's either Greg Ayres or Lucy Christian. That's basically the only characters that are allowed to play little boys in shows, apparently. Or the only actors, anyway. At least it feels that way sometimes. Yeah, maybe it's just a case of, I watched the Media Blasters version first, and so I preferred that cast. That was the one I got used to. But I don't know, I just kind of preferred them. I think they were better. They were arguably the acting not on the same level as what you'd expect from Sentai. The more established actors like Greg Ayres and stuff. But I don't know, I enjoyed the Media Blasters dub quite a bit, and I think it's a shame. It's understandable. Media Blasters are obviously based in New York, Sentai based in Texas. I'm pretty sure that's right. So yeah, like, it's understandable why they changed the cast, and at least they did try to dub the series, which is cool. But yeah, in the end, it's frustrating. I was actually interested in getting the premium edition for this. It's quite a nice box set, because I live on an island and somewhat near the sea. Like, it only takes me about 40 minutes to walk to the ocean. So, I have a great affiliation with like the seaside and stuff. So I kind of like the look of the box and all the water and the blue in the ocean and stuff. But Black Friday or holiday sale, I can't remember which. This was dirt cheap. Everything was dirt cheap. So those sales are, I swear they have to be detrimental to Sentai, but apparently not, because I just don't buy Sentai stuff outside those sales anymore. Like, I'm fully planning to raid their Black Friday sale and holiday sale this year, assuming they do them in the same style, and I'll continue to do that forever. Like, I'm prepared to be patient and wait. Like, I'd much rather get something for $8 6 months later or a year later than pay, $35, $40 for it. So yeah, I've got so much anime to watch, I'm always prepared to be patient. So next, we've got another series that I have actually watched, possibly the last of this pile, I think. I think there's one more at the bottom I have seen as well. But this has become one of my absolute favourite shows. I would love to watch this again. I literally watched it all in a row, all 12 episodes in a single evening. It pains me dearly that this series hasn't got a sequel. It's based on a manga. There is definitely more to this story. For some reason, despite this being incredibly highly rated, it has not got a second season. It really bugs me that it seems to be a growing trend in anime that something will come out, and maybe an early adaptation or something, it'll do really well, and even though there's enough of the manga that's been made since, it kind of just gets forgotten about, and like, I don't know if this is the right phrase, but like the zeitgeist has moved on or something. Like, people just seem to move on. Like, anime is always about the in and the now, and recency bias is incredibly strong in the anime community, like all around the world, and it kind of bugs me sometimes. Because this show called Land of the Lustrous, I believe is how you pronounce that last word, lustrous. is absolutely incredible. This is one of the most unique, maybe not in terms of its story beats are kind of familiar. It's not going to overly surprise you, but what will captivate you with this series is just how unique its setup is and how unique its characters are. And I'm actually going to read a little bit of the synopsis on the back because I would probably butcher trying to describe what the show is actually about. So, in a world where hearts are crystals, no matter what the odds, life will find a way to continue, with young Foss and the other gems as the ultimate proof. Instead of flesh, their bodies, so these are all these girls there, their bodies, where was I? Instead of flesh, their bodies are made of living crystal, allowing them to survive in a world too toxic for any human. But their gem bodies also attract a terrible danger, the Lunarians, that's a really hard thing for me to say, who hunt the gems and use their shattered forms to fabricate jewelry and ornaments. So basically these, essentially aliens, Lunarians, come down and attack them. From like space or something, I forget exactly what. Ornaments. The gems with the strongest forms defend each other, or defend the others, but Foss, which is, where is she? Where's Foss? Is that Foss? I'm pretty sure that's Foss. Maybe. I'm actually not 100% sure which one's Foss now. I mean, I do remember, but I think that one's Foss. Down here, with the more turquoisey hair, not the one with the green hair, but more turquoise. I'm pretty sure that's Foss. Pretty sure. Foss is too weak and brittle to fight, so yeah, the others have to protect her. Foss is the main character. Foss is ordered to compile an encyclopedia, but could that research discover hidden secrets that could help the gems? Join Foss, the toxic Cinnabar, the powerful Bort, the valiant Diamond, and others in the glittering world, unlike anything you have seen before, the land of the lustrous. So yeah, basically now that we've got a more description, a proper description. So basically all these girls here are based on like rock type elements, if you will. So like their foundations of, like, instead of having blood and flesh, as it says, they're like crystals. So yeah, literally a character that's called Diamond is literally, she's called that because she is made of diamond. Same for Foss and same for all the others. So they're all named after the thing that they're made out of. And this, I should probably say, this is a CG anime. You know, done on computers, Pixar type thing, you know, CG, computer animation. Despite that, this looks amazing throughout. I think it really suits. You could argue that this could look really good if it was just done in normal animation as well, totally. Like, but I don't know. I feel like getting the proper like shine out of these characters, make them really look like they're made out of crystals. Maybe in CG it was better that way, but more easier to do. But yeah, and it's just, so yeah, basically these aliens come down, they attack them, they fight these alien things. Some secrets, as it was mentioned, get revealed about certain aspects of the character's history and the world's history and stuff, and definitely some character progression for a lot of the characters, including the main one, Foss. There's a lot going on with Foss in this series. But yeah, this is an utterly super interesting series. I highly recommend it. I'm probably going to end up collecting the manga at some point, because at this point it doesn't look like we're going to get any more of the anime, and I think that is tragic. I gave this series a 10 out of 10. It blew me away. I watched this series in conjunction, like one after the other, with I guess I should probably just talk about that next, so I'll get that one out from the bottom of the pile. Yeah, I'd heard two of the things I really wanted to get from the Sentai sale and did was Land of the Lustrous, because I heard great things about it, and Made in Abyss, which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, I watched Made in Abyss on one day and I ended up giving it a 10 out of 10. But I did really like this series. I've now given it a 9. We'll go into some of that in a minute. I followed it up the next day. So I basically watched this in 2 days, and I followed this up and marathoned it all in one go. But I gave it a 9 because I'd only just literally given this one a 10. And it ended up becoming this thing where, like, about a month later or something, I just kept thinking about how good Land of the Lustrous was, and I kept like returning to like clips of it, and just like on YouTube or on the internet and stuff, and just watching little bits of it, not committing to a full rewatch. I kind of wish I had done in a way. It's just something I don't tend to do. Always move on to the next thing, which probably kind of contradicts what I was saying earlier about recency bias and whatever, and people forgetting about the classics. Because I just move on to the next thing a lot of the time because I've got so much left to watch. But yeah, I would love to return to this one. It's really, really good. It's very, very highly recommended. If there's anything out of everything I'm going to show you from Sentai Filmworks that I think you should pick up or at least watch if you haven't, this is the one. Land of the Lustrous is an absolutely fantastic series. Okay, and also a similarly fantastic series, one that's also very highly rated, Made in the Abyss, obviously. This has got a super interesting art style. I can't remember, isn't it like, they got a really weird name, like Cinema Orange or something. I can't remember. Kinema Citrus. Cinema with a K at the front, so Kinema, I guess. Citrus. Maybe this is another one I should read the back so I can give it justice. Although I'm pretty sure most of you already have either seen this series or know of it for sure. But how far would you go for the ones you love? No one knows what's at the bottom of the abyss, which is basically this giant freaking hole that's on this island that just goes and goes and goes, and there's different levels to it. It's basically like Journey to the Center of the Earth sort of thing, but if that had different layers and it was like a different world, kind of, in every layer. What is known as the Abyss is filled with strange creatures and priceless relics that have lured generations of fortune hunters into a diabolical trap. Because while anyone can descend into the abyss safely, coming back up triggers a nightmarish series of transformations and madness. The deeper you go, the less chance you have of coming back unchanged. But when 12-year-old Riko receives a message, this is Riko, receives a message that her missing mother might still be alive, deep in the abyss, she knows she has to go to her. She must go, even if it's a one-way trip for her and her robot friend Reg, who is obviously the other character here, as they brave the ultimate darkness made in the abyss. And yeah, basically they go down. The only reason, there's basically like schools and stuff around the edge of this thing, and people can go to it and they train up, and you get given, I think it's the whistles. Like she's got a red whistle here. I'm pretty sure, depending on what whistle you've got, is how far you're allowed to go down. And also, if you go down further than you should, people won't come and save you. Basically, if you get stuck, no one will come and get you. Like, you fucked up. you knew what dangers lied ahead, and you went anyway. And in this case, obviously, you got a 12-year-old girl and a little robot buddy here who are going way deeper than they should. And it's super interesting. It's quite dark. It's quite gory and bloody. Like, that's kind of like, it's a giant it just juxtaposes quite dramatically how you've got a somewhat more cutesy art style, kid-friendly, family-friendly art style, and then some shit goes down. People don't like it, some people do like it. I enjoyed the series. I thought that the shocking parts were sometimes maybe shocking for shocking's sake to some degree, but I don't know. I feel like it really drives home the peril of going down this giant hole, and what just how dangerous and how fragile their lives are. Like this little girl and this robot, like how fragile their existence is as they go down into something that is absolutely, life or death every single second. And yeah, it makes it really full of tension. It's a very, very good series. It's just, and again, I gave it a 10 initially. I did really like it, but it took me, did I say 2 days? It actually took me 3 days to watch it. So I wasn't gripped, but I appreciated how good it was and the effect it had on me, and it definitely got me emotionally, especially towards the end. This is only a season 1. There is 3 movies. 2 of them are a recap of this, but the third movie, which I think is literally about to come out very soon, is a sequel to this. Have we showed the packaging? I'm not sure we did. But yeah, so yeah, this is getting continued. And there's going to be probably another season, I assume, next year. I think that was announced, that there's going to be another season. So I'm glad this one's getting continued. And like I said, I really did enjoy it a lot. But it was just in the case of, I ended up watching this the day after. Didn't give it a 10 because I don't tend to give out 10s like crazy. Even though, just because I watch these back to back doesn't mean I can't give them 10s. Even if I watch 2 amazing things back to back, they deserve the scores I give them. It's just, a month later, I couldn't stop thinking about this one. Well, this one I thought was very, 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 very good. But this is the one that actually captured my heart. So yeah. But both incredible series. This is the one I highly recommend the most, as I mentioned previously. But if you haven't seen Made in the Abyss yet, which I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, you should. Okay, everything else I have piled up here, I'm pretty sure I haven't seen, apart from maybe one thing. So we'll go through these a little bit quicker, hopefully. You're glad I split this up into 3 parts now, aren't you? Like 21 minutes in. Okay, this is a series I picked up because of the hype. This show was really highly recommended. I really don't know what it's about. I think it's a romance series, romantic drama series, a love triangle series. But yeah, I just remember while it was airing and just after it was airing, it was really highly rated and had a lot of buzz on the season it was on, and Sentai dubbed it, I believe. Yeah, so we've got Just Because, the complete collection. Not got around to it yet, obviously, but yeah, I heard a lot of good things about this. This actually comes with a extra thing, which is kind of cool. So we've got some nice disc art. Again, I've waxed lyrically, well, maybe not waxed lyrically about it, but I told you many times, I love the graphic design department at Sentai. They make, they don't, like, there's no slip covers. This is the most basic of packaging, you could argue, outside of their premium editions, obviously, which I think are great. I just don't buy them because I don't have the space. But, yeah, like, I don't think this might have actually got some sort of premium edition, I think, as well. I can't remember, but they just look great. Everything they do just looks great, I swear to God. This one also came with a little leaflet here, special leaflet comic. So it's actually yeah, it's like a straight up manga, which I don't really want to look at because I haven't watched it yet. But hey, wow, really? I did a crap job with that. But yeah, we got like come on, a bunch of really, really mini stories, although they don't actually seem to have any text on them. So that one does. I don't know, they're very, very small, but yeah, whatever. That was included in the set as well. Okay, the next one we've got is another one I have actually seen, the last one in this pile that for sure that I have actually seen. So we might get a little bit held up on this one. I used to own this on DVD a long, long time ago. Watched it on DVD. I've not watched the Blu-ray yet, but I decided I sold off the DVD a long time ago. I don't remember why. I think maybe this Blu-ray was announced and I just didn't get around to buying it until now, but I finally did. I picked up And Yet the Town Moves, the complete collection. This is a pretty old series, like, well, oldish. I think it was like 2008 or something. It really freaking bugs me, guys. I've probably mentioned this a million times. It bugs the hell out of me that we don't get when these shows were made on the back. Barely ever. It's super frustrating. Man, this Blu-ray was made in 2016 now, you bought it last year, what the hell. Okay, so yeah, that actually probably lines up. I probably did sell the DVD with the intentions of buying the Blu-ray, and it just took too long to do that. But yeah, I enjoy this series. This is basically about a bit of a eccentric character here, who goes and works at a May cafe in her little kind of rundown town. I think it's a seaside town, I can't quite remember. Something like that. It's just kind of the weird goings on. Well, not necessarily weird. It gets really weird towards the end. The final episode is quite strange, like really out there. Like, but the rest of the series is just kind of like slice of life comedy sort of thing, a little bit eccentric. Hattori loves mysteries, but there's one she can't solve. Why does the solution to one problem inevitably seem to lead to another? Like when Hattori has started to work at the seaside. Okay, is that the seaside? Seaside May Cafe after school to pay off a debt her friend. Toshiko fortunately knows exactly how a May Cafe should be run. Oh, and her friend, whatever. So yeah, whatever. Slice of life May comedy. I remember enjoying this a lot. It's got a really, really good opening and ending, I think, but the opening is really cool. Yeah, I recommend this series. Not incredible, but yeah, I can't really think of anything else to say about it. It's been so long since I watched it, like about 10 years ago, maybe not 10 years ago, but a long time ago. 8 years, shall we say, for definite. Yeah, I liked it though, and I wanted to get it back in the collection. Yeah, on Blu-ray in HD. Okay, Series I have not watched yet, a series that I definitely expect to enjoy. Kind of annoyed now that there's going to be a season 3, if only because I picked up the complete collection and that's all it says. It doesn't say season 1, season 2, it just says it's the complete collection of Log Horizon. So yeah, this is another, hey, I'm stuck in a video game thing, sort of online thing. Yeah, all these characters basically kind of stuck in the video game, can't get out. It's a fantasy MMO type video game, and yeah, it was the ultimate online game. Now it's their new world. So yeah, wow, the online fantasy game Elder Tales. I'm surprised. I mean, I don't know, I'm kind of surprised they were allowed to get away with that in a way. I mean, it's probably fine. It is fine. Obviously, otherwise they wouldn't have been allowed to get away with it. But that's interesting. Surprised there isn't actually a game out in the world called Elder Tales. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, Log Horizon. I have not watched it yet. I heard good things. My nephew recently watched this. He really liked it. A good friend of mine, Rumiko Takahashi, really likes it. Yeah, I just haven't got to it. And wow, these discs are so nice. They're all just like background art. I love that. That's so good. I love illustration art books for anime rather than the guides that have a bunch of Japanese that I can't read, unfortunately. I much prefer stuff that's literally just pictures because I can appreciate that. But one thing I wish they did lots more of is background art books, like, because these things are amazing, and especially the ones back in the day that were all like properly painted. Although these also look like they were painted, they just look great, absolutely great. I love that disc art. What a great choice. I don't know if this is what, I doubt this is what the part 1 and part 2, season 1, season 2 sets were like, but yeah, I like that a lot. That's really nice. Yeah, I hope to enjoy this series when I get around to it. It's dubbed into English. 50 episodes, I believe, and yeah, 50 episodes. 1300 minutes, man, that's so cool. Like almost 20 hours. So yeah, I hope to enjoy it, and I'm pretty sure I will. I did like Sword Art Online. I know it's a show that a lot of people like to shit on, but I did enjoy Sword Art Online. It's one of the few. I mean, I've seen a lot of isekai type series, which is kind of what this kind of is, I guess. But yeah, I do enjoy them still, even though it's kind of getting ridiculous at this point, just how many are being made at the moment. Like, yeah, but yeah, Log Horizon. Okay, here's one that's kind of frustrating. It's great, I've got it. I've not watched it yet. I really should have done. I'm a big fan of Kaiji, and it's really frustrating that we don't have Kaiji on the home video. I don't know why it didn't get licensed back in the day. It would have been great if it did. But even though it didn't, it's been on Crunchyroll season 1 and season 2 for ages. Like, I watched season 1 fan subbed back in like about 2010 or something, and then I ended up watching fan subbed episodes as they came out, downloading the torrents for them for season 2, because it didn't actually appear on Crunchyroll while it aired. It came out on Crunchyroll like a couple of years later, I think. So yeah, I watched the fan sub for that as and when it came out, week to week. Like, I was really into Kaiji. I've not seen it since. I've only seen the series once, both of them. But I'd like to go back to it. Just kind of waiting on the home video release. And then it gets a spin-off rather than a season 3. There's so much more of the manga to be made, which is actually being translated into English officially now, which is cool. I'd like to pick that up. But yeah, it gets a spin-off. It's not only does that get licensed, I mean, it's made by fucking Madhouse and everything. Like, I don't see how this is any different to the licensing for season 1, other than maybe Crunchyroll have the license now or something. But yeah, it comes out and they even dub it. Like, it comes out, Sentai license it and dub it. So this is Middle Management Blues, Mr. Tanagawa, or Mr. Tanagawa's Middle Management Blues, which yeah, is a comedic. Although Kaiju can be quite comedic on occasion. This is a comedic spin-off, like a comedy about this fucking crazy asshole, like the owner of the company of the loan sharking or whatever, loan sharks, and yeah, this guy who works in middle management having to. I don't really know. All I know is I should probably watch this by now. Just yeah, like, Sentai, why did you pick this up and dub it, and then not go to Crunchyroll and go, how much do you want for us to do a joint release on Kaiji? Like, why hasn't that happened? I don't understand. Why do we have this but we don't have Kaiji? It makes no sense to me at all. Anyway, so on 3 discs, and yeah, I was happy to pick this up. I picked this up in the Sentai holiday sale on the cheap, obviously, just like everything else, and yeah, I'll get to it at some point. So what? That's what these are. By the way, yeah, I love Kaiji, and I tell you, there's a part of me that kind of, like, I'm really happy to have this, but that half the reason I've not watched it is because I'm kind of bitter about the fact we don't have Kaiji. Like, Kaiji for the longest time was like my #1 license. Like, that was my #1 want. And in terms of modern anime, it's right up there. Like, the only things that are kind of ahead of it right now would be Natsume's Book of Friends. And ahead of that even would definitely be Eccentric Family Season 2. Because, god damn it, I love Eccentric Family. It's like practically a top 5 anime for me, I think. But yeah, I would really love to be able to own Kaiji, but I'm glad we have this, I guess. But if this is all we ever get, I don't know if I'll be one of those people who's like, hey, at least we got this. Because there's a part of me that's just like, well, this isn't what I wanted. It's cool, but this is not what I wanted. I haven't watched it yet, but I just know, like, I want Kaiji. This is cool, but Sentai, come on, put out Kaiji. Fuck's sake. They are doing some stuff with Crunchyroll, aren't they? Like now, some of the more modern ones. Well, Discotek are also doing some of the much older ones. It's entirely possible that Discotek might be the ones to put out Kaiji because it is a much older show. But I don't know. Since Sentai did handle that, it's possible they'll do it. Okay, here's one that's kind of frustrating in a way, because they've now re-released this with a dub in a complete set. So in a couple of years, maybe not this holiday sale because it'd be quite expensive still, I imagine, but maybe the year after I'll end up picking this up with a dub, so I don't know if I'll end up getting around to watching this. I thought this was a show that I should definitely get because it sounds kind of like Maison Koku to some degree. The Pet Girl of Sakurasou, isn't it? Sakurasou? I'm pretty sure I'm putting in an extra Sakurasou, yeah. Sakurasou. I was putting in an extra syllable there. But yeah, this is all 24 episodes on 4 discs. Yeah, this is basically just about a bunch of people that live in a... I can't remember what you call them. Like the whole Maison the Koku thing. Just a bunch of people that live in a bunch of apartments next to each other. I think they're all in high school or college or something. Ton of extras on this, holy crap. Although they're not really that crazy. Japanese premiere event, Japanese TV spots, Japanese CD spots, clean opening, clean closing. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, just a show that I've heard a lot of good things about, like a nice comedy, slice of life romance, maybe. I think this has got romance in it as well, but yeah. Frustratingly, obviously, it's now been re-released with a dub, which is great, but kind of makes this somewhat redundant. Yeah, frustratingly. I don't know. I hope to get to it eventually, but maybe it will be with the dub version in a couple of years' time, who knows. Okay, finally, holy crap, 35 minutes into part 1. Holy shit. Yeah, we have the final thing, which is actually 4 things, but I can show them all at once because they're all part of the same franchise. This is one of the things that I really like doing with the Sentai holiday sale stuff. You can go on there and you just get basically an entire franchise for the price of like one part of it. And that's what happened here. So like I think these were all like $8 each. Maybe the first 2 were $8 each and the other 2 were $15 each, but overall it doesn't cost a lot more than what one of the season collections would have cost. Rumiko Takahashi series, Rinni. Annoyingly not dubbed. They only put this out subbed, which is frustrating because, I mean, come on, it's Rumiko Takahashi. Like, is this like, this is now like the only Rumiko Takahashi that, well, actually Urusei Yatsura did get fully released subtitled, but that was like a really old anime even when it came out, and it was like 195 episodes. I don't know. Like, these are the people that made Inuyasha, fucking Ranma, and like some of the most beloved, Rumiko Takahashi was these are some of the most beloved shows in the West in terms of anime and even manga, and Sentai licensed the show and they didn't dub it. It's just kind of weird. Like, really weird. And I don't know if they're going to go back and do it because there's a lot of episodes. But anyway, whatever. So we've got collection 1 here with the discs. And as I've not seen this yet. I think I'll like this one quite a bit because this seems to be based on yokai, I believe, or something similar, like Japanese spirits, which is basically what yokai are. So yeah, I think this is going to be a lot of fun, honestly, and yeah, it kind of surprises me. I know it's maybe not the most highly rated of any of Rumiko Takahashi's stuff. It's probably one of the ones with the least exposure in the West, even, but it kind of just came and went to some degree. But still, like, it's just kind of bizarre, you know? It's kind of bizarre that Sentai put this all out. They put it out in 2 parts for season 1, and then they started to do season sets rather than parts. So we've got season 2 here, which has episodes 26 to 50, and then we've got episodes 51 to 75 for season 3. And yeah, like, were you guys surprised that they didn't dub this? Because, as I've made clear, I was. It's a shame, really, especially when like my heart craves a Ocean group dub of, like, if it's Rumiko Takahashi, you want Ocean to do it, right? Because they did Inuyasha, Amazing on the Koku, and I believe Ranma. I'm pretty darn sure. So yeah, you kind of want them to do it. I don't know if they did Rumiko Takahashi Anthology or anything, or Mermaid Forest as well, but yeah, complete set of Rinne. It's cool. Obviously they're doing a Inuyasha sequel soon. I still have not finished Inuyasha. I really need to. It's almost at the point where I feel like I might need to restart it, but I'm not sure. I really like Inuyasha. It just kind of bugged me that it was episodic and not like a proper show with arcs and stuff, even though it's kind of shonen-y in a way. Obviously it's not, but it kind of is in a way. It just feels like it should be a shonen series, an adventure series, and it kind of isn't. It's kind of episodic. It's frustrating. Anyway, that's the part 1 of the Sentai Filmworks haul, crazy Blu-ray haul. That was basically all stuff from the holiday sales I mentioned. I don't buy stuff Sentai Filmworks related outside of those sales. I still have one more pile of Blu-rays to get through and a very small pile of DVDs. So if you want to watch those, hopefully that will be out either tomorrow or the day after or something. So yeah, look forward to that. In the meantime, have a good day, and I'll see you later.